the jerseys in my hand is a fake. Do you know which one? If you don't, I'm going to use this video to show you how to spot the difference and to make sure you're getting the product that you actually want and not a fake. Yes, in my time of jersey collecting, there have been times where even I have been fooled and have ended up getting a fake jersey. Now, it hasn't happened in quite a while, as I am now more familiar with what to look for, and I look very thoroughly through every picture for every jersey I buy. Whatever the listing is, I look extremely thoroughly through all the pictures. I know exactly what to look for. I look for the same things every time, and in this video, I'm going to help y'all be able to do it yourselves, so you're not wondering if what you're getting could be counterfeit or just fake, poor quality, or anything. Now, with that said, I do get it. Some people do get the fake jerseys because they want to get something cheaper or things like that. But overall, you're better off getting the real thing. And I'll also go through and show you some sites I use that have been great for getting new jerseys for me. There's 3 sites I use pretty regularly. eBay being one of them, which I know sounds risky, but it's actually where a lot of my jerseys come from, and a lot of them are legit. And then I said 3, but it's really 2, because I use one specific seller on eBay, and I also use SportsK as one of my go-tos. Unfortunately, they are going out of business, so I'm going to be trying to get as many from them as I can before they are completely sold out. Hopefully, the few that I'm saving up for will hold out, and I'll be able to get them. But with that said, in this video, I'm going to use 3 examples. I have fake Reeboks and fake Adidas ones. I don't have any fake Fanatics ones, but I will be able to use the 2 Fanatics jerseys that I do have to be able to point out what exactly to look for in those jerseys. Also in this video, I will be using 3 teams as examples: the Los Angeles Kings, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Utah Hockey Club / Mammoth. All right, let's get into it with the Penguins. Now, unfortunately, for the one that is fake here, I don't have the same real one to be able to compare them side by side, so I went with the best one that I had to compare it with. One of these jerseys is fake. They're both with Reebok tags. They both got the Penguins logo on there and the branding and everything, but only one of them is legit. One of them I got off eBay. The other one, I don't remember exactly where it came from, but it's not legit. If you're wondering, this is the fake, this is the real. And here's how you tell. With the Reebok jerseys, the NHL logo will be stitched, which they did a good job here with faking that. Also in the Reebok jerseys, you will have a tag that should look like this. For any jerseys 2011 or later, they should look like that. Also, Reebok jerseys will have a jock tag, which I removed the jock tags on all of my Reebok jerseys except for my Atlanta Thrashers ones, because those are like antiques now. So I kept the jock tags on those, but they will have a gray rectangular jock tag right here on the bottom right of the jersey. It'll be bottom left when you're wearing it, but on the bottom right when you're facing it. This jersey does not have that, and it never did. Also, if you look in the neck of the fake, you will see a deformed Canadian flag. I don't know about you, but that does not look like the maple leaf on the Canadian flag. Also, another thing to note, size 52 is a real size, but fakes will a lot of times show you a size 48. Size 48 does not exist in Reebok or Adidas. It jumps straight from 46 or 56 to 50 or 60. That is how the sizing works for both Reebok and Adidas. For Fanatics, the sizing is a little bit different. I'm not too sure if 48 and 58 exist in Fanatics, but if they don't, then that's a dead giveaway. But yes, also if you look at the logo, notice how that penguin looks a little bit deformed. Notice how this one looks a lot like the logo. That is actually legit. By the way, keep in mind, both of these jerseys are very worn. I've worn both of these on ice. This one's been retired from ice use. This one It's just been retired to a closet. I don't wear any of these jerseys on ice anymore. But also, you'll notice, see how bubbly that logo is? It should not look like that. It should be smooth like this. Now, it might not look too smooth on the camera, but in real life, this is a legit. And it's, I believe, heat pressed on there. It could be stitched. I guess it is stitched on the outside, but on the inside, Reebok jerseys were only stitched on the inside, noticeably, for the final season of their manufacturing, which was the 2016-17 NHL season. Anything before that, it'll be like this one. Oh, wait. Actually, this was 2016-17. What do you know? Because I got a Blackhawks one that's a little bit different. You can't see the stitching on the inside. This one is 2016-17. The Penguins only wore these Reebok jerseys, these Reebok white jerseys, for one season. But yeah, that's basically how you tell. Also, another thing to look out for, Reebok jerseys, the Premier jerseys don't have fight straps, but the Edge jerseys, I think they do. I don't have any Reebok Edge jerseys to my knowledge, but the on-ice quality, they will have the fight strap on the back, on the lower back. All Adidas jerseys have them. I believe Fanatics as well. At least, not the breakaways, but the Premier and the Authentic Pro, they do. This one does not have it. It is still a legit jersey. This one does have it, I believe. It does. And it's a fake. I will also show you in the Adidas portion of this how to spot a properly stitched fight strap. And I promise you, it does not look like this. See if I can get it. Kind of hard, I'm holding two jerseys at the same time. But yeah, I promise you, it does not look like that. Another thing to look out for, like I said with the logos, they're stitched only on the edge. Because if I turn this inside out, you'll see this papery material. That is not good. You don't want that. On the Penguins logo, it should only show up on the outer edge. That's for all the logos. But for the Penguins, you know, it's got a triangular shape. You want that triangular shape. It's not going to show up too well on the white one I've been showing you, but I will try to show you briefly before we move on to the Adidas. Okay, that's fake anyway. Also, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but Reebok jerseys are cut on the sides. Here is the Penguins logo. You can't really see it too well because it's on a white jersey, but if you can see it, you might be able to notice that only the edge of the logo is stitched. So there's that to look out for. Also, on Reebok jerseys, you can find the manufacturer information on the inside of the jersey with these tags right here. It will show you everything you need to know about it, and it will also show you the manufacturing date in the month and the year. This jersey was produced in October of 2016. And that is how you tell the difference between a real and a fake Reebok NHL jersey. Let's move on to the Los Angeles Kings and Adidas. All right, this one might be a little bit harder to tell. I'm going to put them in the same hand as I did last time in the beginning of the video. I showed these two Kings jerseys. One's real, one is fake. Do you know which one? Let me give you a few seconds. This is the fake, this is the real. And you're probably thinking that's crazy because the logo is bigger on this one. Something to look out for. Just because the logo is bigger doesn't mean that this one's fake. It's all about the quality, how it's stitched, all that good stuff. Just like with the Reeboks. Same thing. The logos should be stitched on the outer edges, and I will be able to show you that more clearly with this one. And this one is stitched like the Penguins one that I showed you that was fake. Also with Adidas. You'll notice down here, this one is a really good fake. This is one that actually got me a long time ago. This one does not count towards my collection. This right here, that is a really good tactic there by whoever counterfeited this, because that is something you will find on all legitimate first-year Adidas Climalite retail jerseys. They stopped doing them on the second year of them. I don't know why, but I always hated them anyway. So any one of my jerseys that had it, I removed it. But yeah, that is a really good attempt at a fake here. Also, something to really look out for in the neck. Notice how this is all kind of like scrunched up and whatnot, and this Climalite thing right here is peeling. This is also stitched on here. The NHL shield on Adidas jerseys is heat pressed. And yet, nice little work here trying to fool us with the shiny silver on the Kings. On that era of Kings jerseys, it was just like this. Not as shiny. It's just part of the jersey. Not the same material as the rest of the jersey. It's smoother, but it looks cleaner. This one, On the back, a lot of fakes. This one is actually a really good fake. You can't tell on the, this is the fake. You can't tell. This is not showing through on the other side. That is something that is a dead giveaway as well. If you can see the Adidas logo coming through in the front here, then that's 100% a fake. The Adidas logo will not show through. The only exception, somewhat, to that rule is the Made in Canada jerseys. You can see the imprint of the outline of the logo. That is only on Made in Canada on ice jerseys. And you can also see on those jerseys, the Made in Canada ones, this is how it should look for the Endo jerseys. But the stitching along the neckline here will be white. It's black on this one, which I believe is the same through all of them. I think all of those look relatively the same for the ones I have. So there's that. And notice how this is smooth. You can clearly read it. That is one of the biggest things. Actually, that is the biggest thing I look for on the Adidas jerseys, is does that neckline, the tagging information right here, the sizing information, made in Indonesia, Adidas logo, and the sizing, also making sure that this isn't peeling and the Adidas logo isn't showing through. That is something I always look for. All right, now I'm going to show you the logos. I'll start with the fake. The fake, pretty good. Pretty good fake, I'm not going to lie. Oh, would you look at that? There is no fight strap on this fake Adidas jersey, as there shouldn't be. On a fake. Oh, on a real jersey, they should be on there. All right, now I can actually really give you a good glimpse at the NHL shield being stitched on there, which should not be a thing. And the logo, see how the logo is stitched all over the place? It's got that papery material. I mean, I could peel this off if I really wanted to. And also you can see that it is stitched on here with the NHL shield. No bueno. Not on Adidas or on Fanatics. That is not what you want to see on an Adidas jersey. That is a tongue twister. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, I will show you the real one and some things to look out for. Also, I'm going to show you how the fight strap should be stitched and where to find the manufacturing information on Adidas jerseys. You won't back in the closet out there. Onto our real Adidas jersey. The one that's a lot nicer to hold. See how clean this is? And yes, the LA Kings logo is small on the home version of this one, which is the one I'm holding and showing you right now. Which personally, I think the Kings should go back to this. I really like this jersey. Especially in the prime green when this silver was upgraded to like that shiny silver material. Not like this one. This is closer to what they were now. But this is the real one. Notice how the Adidas doesn't bleed through or anything. It's stitched on there. The logo is heat pressed. Oh, see that right there? If it'll show up. I don't know if you can really see that, but that was some stitching that was just clean, straight line. And that climb light there, the word mark was not bleeding or not peeling. Now, to show you the inside of this. Notice, NHL shield, not stitched. It is heat pressed. See the outside of the logo? You can see a lot better on this than the one I showed you that was real for Reebok. This is how it should look. Only the outside edge should be stitched. That is exactly how it should look. Back here, the fight strap. All Adidas and all Fanatics jerseys have this, and they're all stitched the same if I'm not mistaken. Notice the X shape, the box in an X shape on the strap. That is how it should look. This, I mean, it's a tie-down fight strap, whatever you want to call it. So it's a little bulky. But this is how the stitching should look on all real Adidas and Fanatics jerseys. As for the manufacturing information, same place I showed you on the Reebok. It's on the inside here, towards the bottom on the waist. Manufacturing information. And the production date for this one, June of 2018. Okay, now I'm going to show you the Fanatics, and then I might even show you the AHL and the one ECHL jersey I have. Okay, let's move on to the Utah Mammoth. Okay, on to the Fanatics jerseys. The Fanatics jerseys are very similar to the Adidas jerseys. The only difference really is the sizing and the fact that you can more easily access the Made in Canada version, which is what the players get. This is a Fanatics Premium Utah Hockey Club, Mammoth, whatever you want to call them, away jersey. This one was bought directly from the NHL shop, which is why it's disappointing that they didn't put the inaugural season patches on this. Same with the black one, which I'm hoping to get those eventually, and we'll get them put on there. Eventually. But they are legit. I know they're legit because they came directly from the NHL store on their online shop. Like I said, very similar. They got the mesh shoulders, or mesh armpits here. The Fanatics Premium neckline, same thing, nice and smooth. Tagging is like right there. The Fanatics logo does not bleed through. Fanatics tagging is a little different here, as you see right here. That's what it should look like. Now, in Fanatics, I wear size 52, which is a little different from the Reebok and Adidas, in which I wear XL/54. But overall, the same thing. The Fanatics logo back here should be stitched on. The Utah logo, as you see, each individual letter should be stitched on the outside edges only, on the inside. There's not really much to say about this one. It's the Utah Mammoth / Hockey Club inaugural season jersey, which I just recently unboxed. This actually right here was my 100th jersey. So yeah, relatively the same as the Adidas, like I've been saying. This logo, heat pressed, not stitched. I'll show the inside out version so you can get a glimpse yourself. And like I said, I don't have a fake for Fanatics, so I can't really show you one. But with this one, I'm at least able to show you what you should be looking out for. Sorry with the white jersey again for the inside out look. The black one's on the wall and I don't want to take it down. You can see, kind of, how each individual letter is only stitched on the outside of each letter on the border. That's how it should look. And I showed you the NHL shield and whatnot. On the back, fight strap. This is a white jersey, so it's going to be harder to tell, but it is the same stitching pattern as the Adidas. You can't really see it on the camera, but that is how you tell. Manufacturing information, which I forgot on the Adidas portion of this to mention, is inside the neck on the prime greens. I don't know why, but you can find them on the inside of the neck of the prime greens. And let me move down. Looking here, it is on this side. It's like up here in this shoulder. So that's where you find them on the prime green Adidas. Otherwise, the Climate Light, Aero Ready, the first two lines of Adidas jerseys, they'll be where they are on the Reeboks and on this one. I don't know why Fanatics just decided to move it back to the same spot, but there's the manufacturing info. And this jersey was produced in December of 2024. That is how you tell a fake and a real NHL jersey apart in Reebok, Adidas, and Fanatics. I'm now going to show you AHL and ECHL. Obviously, those are harder to come by. I've actually never run into a fake minor league jersey as far as I know. But I do have legitimate AHL and ECHL jerseys that I can show you. So that way you know what you're getting is still legit. And I know these are legit because every single AHL jersey I bought has been directly from the AHL store. And the only ECHL jersey I've ever bought, I got directly at the arena from the team. So that's how I'm going to show you that. Let's move on to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, because why not? Now, first glimpse, this might look very similar to the fake Pittsburgh jersey I showed you, but I do know this one is legit because it came directly from the AHL store. So, things to look for. Tagging should look like that on the neck. Logo, I believe, is stitched. It's stitched on the outside, not on the inside. Shoulders, at least for this iteration, I think they have started stitching the shoulder patches for the AHL jerseys. There's a new line of Quick Light jerseys out this season, I believe. So this one's a little bit outdated, as are my other AHL jerseys, which I have 2 San Diego Gulls and 1 Utica Comets. But I think more or less they're the same. CCM logo should look like that on the back of the jersey. And we have screen printed jerseys on the shoulders for all the AHL jerseys that I personally own. Let's take a look on the inside. I've actually never done this with this one. Oh, yeah. AHL jerseys also have the AHL logo and CCM on the back, on the bottom. These jerseys are a little bit heavier. But I mean, it's the AHL. Which, don't get me wrong, the AHL, I would really like to get some more AHL jerseys in my collection because I think the AHL has some of the best jerseys I've ever seen. Okay. Here's the front, or sorry, that is the back of the jersey. There is no fight strap on the AHL jerseys as far as I know. For the front, can't really see it, but nothing is showing through. You might be able to see a little bit of where the logo is, but you know, it's not stitched or anything on this one. So I would guess, I think it's a pretty educated guess that none of my other ones are like that. I keep looking over there because all 3 of them are over there. As for manufacturing information, there it is. There's the tag. Same spot as the Reebok, Adidas first few years, and Fanatics. It's right here. Manufacturing information, and it's It's got a price tag on it. Looks like, that might be a price tag or something. I'm not seeing a manufacturer date. Oh, you know what? Yes, I am. It's just in the non-US format. November 15th, 2022. So I learned something new today with this. It's still legit though, so no need to worry. This still counts. Any real jersey counts towards my collection, just not the fakes. This was my first AHL jersey. I have 4 AHL jerseys now. Funny enough, 2 of them are San Diego, which is the team that stole my team. But okay, let's get on to that team I said stole my team. My only ECHL jersey so far. The ECHL uses Athletic Knit league-wide for their jerseys. This is my Athletic Knit Norfolk Admirals alternate jersey. I don't remember what season, but this tag will probably tell me if I look in there and find it. Same thing with the tagging. Rather clean. This is a little bit much, but, you know, still clean. Official licensed jersey of the ECHL. Very clean logos and whatnot. On the back, there is an ECHL logo. That is stitched, I believe. Yes. And I got this directly from the Norfolk Scope Arena. Athletic Knit. Stitched on there. So, like I mentioned, I know it's legit because I got it from the team store. $147. Logo is stitched on there, which they since changed their logo actually. But I went with this one because, you know, yellow's my favorite color. Hometown team. Why not? Let's take a look on the inside. I've also never looked on the inside of this one. I got this one at the ECHL All-Star Game in 2023. When the Stanley Cup's in your backyard, you go and look at it. Here's the front. You can see where the logo is. It is not stitched on the inside, the logo itself. As for the back, no fight strap or anything, it's just boring on the inside. Is there any information on the manufacturer? It might all be on that tag. 100% polyester, made in Canada. Oh, this is made in Canada. I do not see any information on a manufacturing date for the ECHL. So I'm going to guess that's how it is for all the ECHL jerseys. This is my only ECHL jersey so far, so that's, as far as I know, that's how you tell. So for the AHL and the ECHL, I'm not too educated on it and whatnot, but based on that, those are some things to look out for so that you know what you're getting is real. As for the NHL, very confident, and those are the main things that you should be looking out for when you're buying a new jersey, and to make sure that you're getting exactly what you want, not a counterfeit or anything. Now, if a deal looks too good to be true, that's probably the case, but it's not always true. I've gotten pretty good deals on a lot of jerseys. I got an Adidas jersey. I got a prime green Adidas Islanders jersey recently for $41. It sounds like too good to be true, right? But I looked at all the pictures on the listing, looked at exactly what I just showed you I looked at, and that's how I determined this was a safe bet. I got the jersey, it came in, no problems at all, and it's legit, it counts towards the collection. All right, so that is how to look for a counterfeit, and this has been the Beginner's Guide to Jersey Collecting. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.